Hello, my love. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to a binge reading vlog. I have a couple of books that I really want to read, but I'm in between, I think, two vlogs. I'm in between so many books. Right now, my Fable has like 5 currently reading books, and I never do that. I never read like multiple books at once, but I don't know. I'm trying narrative nonfiction, and it's low key. Like compared to what I usually read, it is kind of boring, and I do have to really lock in. But I also want like a giggly book to just read. So I'm doing a binging. Like I just want to binge all the books that I consider fun, like my books, my kind of books, and that's what I plan to do. I'm in between reading the Percy Jackson series, and I'm also reading one of my physical books, and I'm also reading A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. So those are the books that I'm currently, and they're also not boring per se, but very not my favorite books. So I have options. Also, I don't know what I want to start with. I want to read The Deep by Rivers Solomon. I also want to read The Princess Knight by Kate Jacobs. I also want to read Duology. The first book is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, and the other one is The Exquisite Torment of Loving Your Enemy. I got those two books because like I saw someone recommend them on BookTube, and the recommendation kind of made me feel like it gives A Game of Cat and Witch by Ruby Roon. Yeah, the paranormal romance book that had me going crazy, that one. And some of the books that I've been putting off but that I've had for a while that are in almost all my hopefuls. I have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, Wings of Starlight by Alison Saft, which I started. I only read like the first sentence and I was like, "Ugh, I'm not in the mood for this. I have to be in the mood for this." Also, the Brown Sister series, The One Trust, Life and Loves of Nella Carter, The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell, When We Had Forever by Shailene Gandhi, The Reality of It All by Alison Specker, Rules for the Summer by Megan Quinn, and The Red Winter Trilogy. I'm just like, I have so many books I want to read, so many books I want to read, but I'm having like paralysis because I have too many books on my TBR and they all seem so good. And I just want to read all of them, but I can't. I can't read all of them. And I'm starting to get Gilmore Girls. I think one of the girls was like, how is she going to read all these books before she's dead? Because I'm feeling her right now so much. There's so many books I want to read, but I don't know where to start. But I do know where to start for this video. I'm going to start with The Deep by Rivers Solomon. I'm very interested in reading this book. The only thing I know about it thus far is that it's about the slaves who were thrown overboard. They became mermaids. I think they became like some fish species. And so I don't really know how it's going to go. I don't know what I'm expecting, but that concept was so cool. Like, I'm imagining we're going for revenge, but I'm not sure. But like, that is so cool. Like, I saw it and I had to get it. It sounds like such a cool book. And it's so short. It's only 114 pages. So I'm hoping it's going to be as good as I imagine it's going to be. Let's read. Hi, I'm not that far into the book, but I wanted to say something. I'm on page 31 of 100 and something, and it's really decent. It's very descriptive. It's a very descriptive book. But the thing about its descriptive nature is that I feel it. So there's this scene that's happening where, okay, let me give you like a rundown. Our main character's name is Yetu. Yetu. And the thing about Yetu is she is the historian of the Wajinru. Wajinru is the fish people, the ones who were born from pregnant slave. So Yetu is a historian, which means that she holds in herself all the memories of all those Wajinru people, like from the first ones, like the drowning slaves, to the ones that they give birth to, which were the Wajinrus, to the ones that they are right now. So she holds the history of the whole species, and it's heavy for her because they're very sensitive creatures, and I don't even know how to explain it, but the book makes me feel like I am one of them. It makes me feel like I'm sensitive to voices and to information, and it makes me feel like my head is full and then my head is aching, especially because we're in Yetu's point of view, and that's how she feels most of the book. She's very weighed down by all the history, and when she has a remembering, which is when she remembers something, a scene, something that happened to one of our ancestors. When she has one of those, she's so into it that she leaves her current body and is like in her mind. You know, in Avatar and the Last Airbender, the cartoon, where this guy, the one with the what's his name? Aang, where Avatar Aang is usually meditating and he sits there for days, but his body is there, but his like spirit isn't. So it's basically the same thing with Yetu, where she leaves her body and she's in that scene and she could be there for days, and it sucks her, it drains her. And some at a point where she does this thing every year where she gives all the history. She gives all the history to the rest of our species so that they can remember, because they don't usually remember. They only know their names and what they are. That's it. And like basic instinct, like how to hunt and how to, survive underwater. But she has all the history. And so every once in a year, she has to sit down with all of them and connect to them and let them all like see the history like from her mind. She kind of like projects it to them. Actually, she gives it to them literally. Like the memories leave her mind and go into their minds. And it's such a cool concept. I really enjoy it. The descriptive thing is just, I feel really sleepy, so I am getting a little bit sleepy with all the descriptions going on, but I really enjoy reading it. It's so cool. So the thing that she's done right now is she was doing a remembering, meaning she was giving them the history, like all the memories, and then she ran away. So the thing is, she's supposed to give them all her memories, and then they sit with it for days to remember, because they're supposed to remember everything that happened to them, how they came to be, and so they remember. And so she gave them all her memories, and then she ran away. So now she's gone, and they're just starting with their memories. The thing about them, like I said, they're sensitive. So having all these memories, all the murders that happened when I don't really know exactly what. I know that the slave women drowned, they were pregnant. So the slave women drowned and were pregnant, and they gave birth underwater, like in the sea. I don't know how the heck that happened, but they gave birth in the water. And so because already in the stomach, the kid is usually in like fluid, right? Basically. So how it works is, because they give birth to these kids in water, they can breathe underwater because they already like walikuwa survive in the stomach, in the fluid that's inside the stomach, and then they are birthed inside another fluid and they just stay there. So their body adapts to that, and they just breathe underwater. That's it. They just breathe underwater. Let's keep reading. Hello, my love. I just finished reading The Deep by River Solomon, and that book, oh my god, that book has unraveled me in the best of ways. I did not think. I always say that I want a book that makes me feel. I want a book that makes me feel like I'm inside the book, and that book, I felt like I was feeling the character's emotions. Yetu is our main character. I feel like I already explained what the book is about, so I'm not about to do that. But I felt Yetu's emotions. Every time she'd feel loneliness, I'd feel this deep, dark hollowness within myself. Every time she'd feel angry, or every time she'd feel overwhelmed, I'd feel it with her. It is one of the craziest books I've ever read in my life. It is a 6-star read. It is God tier. I don't think I've read anything. And I think I rank books according to what the book is. Like if it's a children's book, then I'm going to rank it as a children's book. If it's a fantasy novel, I'll rank it as a fantasy novel. If it's a thriller, I'll rank it as a thriller. But this book, for what it was, it is a 6-star. It is a God tier book. And River Solomon is amazing. Oh my god, the way they wove their words together in that book, the way I could feel every fucking emotion. When I say I could feel desire, when I tell you I could feel each and everything that was happening in that book, I could feel the sensitivity of Yetu's skills, bro. I don't even know how they did that. It was so amazing. I wow. At the end of the book, there's a afterword. Is it called an afterword? And it talks about what influenced the book, The Deep. It was influenced by a song called The Deep. It's such an amazing song. I listened to the whole song once I was done reading the book, and I literally just outlined the whole book. But the actual book is more about the emotions and the togetherness of the Wajinru people. And this is about like the revenge they took once they realized their history. The song, I mean. Oh my god, The Deep by River Solomon. I have their whole backlist. I've looked up all their books. There's The Unkindness of Ghosts, Model Home, Sorrowland, Blood is another word for hunger, and The Villa. I can't wait to read all of them. I'm actually going to get them all before I go to bed so I can wake up tomorrow and pick up another one, probably, maybe. But that book just, it left me so calm too. Like the ending was so beautiful. It also had romance in it. Like the thing is, it was not like romance. It was just like an emotion, the desire. I don't even know how to explain it. It wasn't romance. I wouldn't call it a romance. I would not classify that book as a romance novel. You know, at first it kind of started like very slow. It's no, it started not slow. It started very where is this going? It just it gets better. It gets so much better. And then it's like it's so it feels like the water. That book feels like the water. Like it's so but then it kinda like that doesn't make any sense. I don't particularly plan to do anything else. It's really late in the night. It's 12:14 p.m. and I finished it and I was going to go to sleep and I was like, I cannot sleep. I have to give my review. That book is a god tier book. I'll see you when I pick up the next one. Kisses, good night.
Hello.
Hi. So, I'm here to update you on what I'm reading. Uh, I think the last clip I filmed was me talking about my new favorite book, The Deep by Rivers Solomon. But now that I'm like sitting on it, it's still a 6 star. Like I'm telling you, the way that book made me feel is like no other feeling I've ever felt before. It was so whoa. I think what got me was the writing style. More than the concept was the writing style. And I think it will remain as 6 stars. I won't change it. Although I'm feeling like I'm not forgetting it, but I'm not those emotions I was feeling while I was reading. Obviously I'm not feeling them anymore. That deepness. I'm telling you, I was feeling a hollowness, a deep hollowness in my chest, bro. I don't know how to explain that shit, but it happened. But now I'm currently reading The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. 65 pages in. I'm on chapter 4. It's I think it's pretty decent. I'm now realizing like I said before, I think I've said before, I don't really read fantasy. So I've never really experienced the whole world building thing that everybody's always saying. So this one is where I was kind of like confused at first because they were throwing around these words like seed and order and I don't know, heal and order and fire and order. And I was like, what the hell is this? Am I supposed to have taken a class before this? Kind of like, but the start of the book has a map and a glossary with like some words that I skipped because I was like, well, I don't need this. I do. So I had to go back, read through the glossary, and it did make a little bit more sense. And I am kind of getting into the groove of it. Apparently, this is a true. Well, I can't really tell because apparently a true enemies lovers novel is characterized by how long they stay enemies. There's something in my eye. I'm only 45 pages in, so I can't really tell, but thus far, they hate each other. Like, I don't even see like them being together. There's no like, oh, I hate him, but he has such beautiful dark hair and his skin is so. There's none of that. They are outright insulting each other. Like, whoa, whoa! I don't think I've ever read a true like enemies to lovers thing. So this is really like confusing me because I don't even see them being together at all. They really hate each other, like really. They're not holding knives like to each other's throats or anything because that I feel like that's what most people say. Like they have to be like blood must be spilled, but I've not seen that, and I don't know if it's going to happen. But they are. So okay, let me try and explain it. So it's about Aurine and Ostrich. And Aurine is part of the light path, the bright path. Wow, I'm going to suck at this. Buckle up. Okay, so Aurine is part of an order. So an order is like when you learn to control your magic, which is called a seed, and you study it further. So she decided to study healing using her seed for healing further. And so she joined an order, like a healing order. It has a name, I just don't bloody remember, but a healing order. Oh, a high Halen. A Halen? Halen order, something like that. And then Osiris, nah, Ostrich, Ostrich, and then Ostrich. decided to join Firen Order, which is an order where I think they're assassins basically. They kill for money. That's what they do. So there's the dark path and the bright path. And the healers, I think like all the good things, like healing. I've not met any other orders, but I'm going to assume like good things are like the bright order, and kind of like stuff like killing, even though you're killing like bad people, is the dark order. So that's their enemies. Their enemies. And so Osric, I don't know why I keep calling him Osric, bro. Osric has like a disease. He's like sick, and he's about to die. Well, not die. He's about to lose his magic. And the thing is, in the Firen Order, when you lose your magic, you're basically useless. So they kill you themselves. Osiric realized that he needs Aurine because she's like the highest Seath researcher. Like she's so good at everything Seath. And the thing that his disease is that his Seath is deteriorating, and so he's going to be magicless basically. And so he tries to kidnap Aurine, but it goes really awful because Aurine is a very studious, strict. She's not scared. She doesn't give a fuck. She's like, why the fuck are you in my office right now? Just leave. Like, don't annoy me. I'm busy. You know. She's just like very stoic and stuff. So I really like her. She's very funny. And so he was like, how did I not charm her? How did I not seduce her? So his plan A was to seduce her. Plan B was to offer to give her money and to bribe her, basically. And plan C was to kidnap her. But I don't know, things happened and she ended up having to do it. So now they're doing like secret meetups because he doesn't want anyone to know that he's sick. And she doesn't want anyone to know that she's working with this like creature, a fire and like person. It's just like apparently it's disgusting for her. It's like, oh my God. And the writing style is kind of like, I don't want to say dense. It's not dense, but it has this like, I don't know. They use like, I'd like to say all the words. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But it is taking sometimes. I think this book will take time for me to read because I have to take it slow so that I understand everything that's happening. Although it's only 354 pages long, so it's not that big of a book. I think that this is a kind of book that I need to sit with it for a long time for me to get what we're doing. Although I already like it because it's already started like really like so I hit the ground running. So I like that because if it was like a half the book was like explaining to me what the world is, I'd be bored. I'd be really bored. So I like that we already have the plot. And although I do know that there will be some like crazy, they'll have to choose between each other or their orders, something like that. It must happen. I feel like that's very predictable, no? Because they're basically like actual enemies. Or like what is going to get out that they are working together? Something will happen. I know that for a fact. TikTok has taken over my life. I hate myself for how much I've been doom scrolling. Let me be honest with you. My yesterday's TikTok time alone was 8 hours, 40 something minutes. The day before that was 6 hours. But it's only been 2 days that I've been so into TikTok that I don't sleep because I'm like scrolling on TikTok, which honestly disgusts me because I'm like, it's 3 p.m. I'm like, I'm going to get a couple things done and I'm going to sit down with my book. But then I get a hold of my phone and I open that damn app and I don't do anything. And then all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. I'm still scrolling on TikTok. Oh my God. And you never know what you like. I cannot tell you anything I've learned. I've not added any book to my TBR. Haven't like nothing. I've not added any value to myself for those 2 days that I've been relentlessly scrolling on TikTok. Have I scrolled on TikTok today? Yes, although I spent most of my day baking. That's why my hands are bluish. I've been baking. I have a cake order that I'm supposed to take to deliver tomorrow, and that's what I'm like completing currently. But I'm really not proud of myself. Wow, a whole lot of nothing was said in these 22 minutes. So I'm going to shut up and go. Bye. Hello. Hi. Do I look dead? Or maybe sleep deprived? It's because I am. I am dead. Wait, no, I'm sleep deprived. What the fuck? Hi, it's the next day, as you can so clearly tell. And I spent last night reading a book. And you would think that it's one of the 6 books in my currently reading list. No, no. I decided to start a new book. It's called Wild Wild Cowboy by Elizabeth Bright. And I gave it a 3.5 stars. Once I was done, for what it did deserve the 3.5 stars. It was about a bloody wild wild cowboy. Basically, it was so funny. I did not expect to read it throughout the night. It was so good and hilarious, and it was so soft and like simple to read. It was my palate cleanser. It was amazing. I was so happy. Oh, I'm so going to read all these other books in the same series by Elizabeth Wright because they are just so cute. I think it's very cliche for a cowboy romance. So it's about Hannah and Zach. And Hannah is a librarian in this small town. And Zach is a cowboy. And he used to be I don't know what to call them, those cowboys that hold on to horses that are trying to push them off their backs. He was one of those. And then he got badly injured. He broke his spleen. I don't know what the fuck the spleen is, but he broke his spleen, and I know it's somewhere around here. And he had to get it taken off, and so he's very like he can't ride the bulls anymore, or whatever he used to do. So now he feels like his life, his whole world has come to an end because that was his like that was it for him. Just keep bull riding or whatever until he dies. And so the book has some heavy themes. There was suicidal thoughts by Zach, but I'm so glad he overcame that. And because, like I said, that was what he tied his worth to, being a professional and successful those guys. And once he lost that, he felt useless. And like he thought himself a broken man. And then about Hannah, she also has lore. So Hannah was a wife at the ripe age of 14 to a middle-aged man. Yeah. Because that is something that still happens, for fuck's sake. So the thing is, it's one of those like religious groups, the weird religious cults that marry their own daughters and nieces and all that weird bullshit. So she was a victim of that, but she was able to escape before they could fucking force her to breed children. Although they did take her innocence. And it's such a fucking frustrating book at that point where she's telling this story and she's so indifferent to it. Even though she's not, oh my god, it was very painful to read through. But I think that's all the triggers. Like, I think that was all the dark themes. But the rest of the book was really interesting. Like, it was very hilarious and they got to know each other. The only thing that I don't like, once they had intercourse, but it didn't take long for that to happen. Like 70 pages in, they were already doing it. But once they did it, it just like shifted their whole. It kind of like we know each other now. Boom! Like their dynamic changed so fast. I had whiplash. It was just like whoa. She's like this prissy librarian who doesn't talk much. She's sort of reserved, but is very straightforward. And he's like this charming, always laughing, always flirting kind of cowboy. And then like once they had sex, it was like straight banter. I feel like we didn't like ease into it because I don't think once you have sex, conversation becomes easier, does it? I don't know. I don't think so. So they kind of just got into it, and I was like, well, that's not realistic. But other than that, I really liked the book. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I stayed up all night reading it. It was really good. That's my update. I feel like it would be wrong. It would be morally wrong if there were no black cowboys. So I'm going to do a research. So black cowboys. I'm the only one who asks question like this, bro. Ooh, there are. Hubba. Damn. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Oh my god, I'm disgusting. Oh, yo, they be looking like Michael B. Jordan. Dang. Those arms, baby. That's enough. I can't be this thirsty on screen. Let me go and be thirsty off screen. Bye bye. I feel like I haven't been doing a lot of binge reading for a binge reading video, but I have been reading more than I've been reading basically this entire month, which honestly, I'm so happy because this month started really nicely and I was just reading, and then I kind of like stopped reading. And then I've been reading during my little binge reading sessions. So yesterday, I binge read Percy Jackson. I have a whole vlog on that. And I completed the second book, which is The Sea of Monsters. And I started and completed that book, which is The Titan's Curse. I love Percy Jackson. I'm just going to say that. The rest of it will be in that vlog. I've not been doing as much binge reading as I hoped I would do, but it has done what I was hoping it would do, which was get me reading actively again. So I'm proud and I'm happy about that. But this is not the end. I'm going to keep. Honestly, I'm not feeling this books, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your enemy. Like I feel like it's going to be such a good book if I just hold on. But right now, I honestly don't like the male main character. Like the way he speaks, he's very cocky. I don't like that. He's very like, oh, how could she resist my charms? Oh, with this face, like not like that. I don't know how to explain it. And it's just, it's an ick. It's an ick for me. But I'm liking this whole challenge, and I'm going to keep trying to binge. Should I do a Halloween? I don't like scary books. If I was to do like Halloween, I would read Riley Sager books. Or I don't know. I've never tried. I don't or like paranormal romances. Yeah. I don't think I could read like gothic, gory stuff. Girl, I would get nightmares. Riley Sager scares me and he has no gore in his books. So imagine me reading a gory book. Bitch, goosebumps scare me. And it's a children's book. So yeah. Bye. I unfortunately did not complete the irresistible urge to fall for your enemy. And I forgot to film an outro for this video, but that was like it. I stopped binge reading and I started filming another vlog because I forgot that this one existed. But this is the end. Thank you for watching. I hope that you like and subscribe. Bye.